Good afternoon. Today we are graphing linear equations given slope-intercept form y equals mx plus b and standard form ax plus by equals c. So we'll jump into the very first graph here. We have how to graph linear equations given slope-intercept form. So we're going to graph the line with the equation y equals negative 1/2 x minus 4. So just recall that slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. First step is to identify the y-intercept. B is equal to negative 4, and we need it as a point, so it's at 0, negative 4. Step 2 is to find the slope. Slope is negative 1 over 2, so that tells us the change in y is negative 1, change in x is adding 2. So we're going to simply subtract 1 from the negative 4, add 2 to the 0 to make a second point. 0, negative 4, by adding 2 to the x and subtracting 1 from the y, we're going to end up with the second point of 2, negative 5. So all we got to do is plot the points. So we're going to go with 2, or 0, negative 4, and then we're going to go to 2, negative 5. Okay. If we look at the order of our points, it gets bigger on the x's and gets smaller on the y's. Therefore, we have a negative slope. This does match up. And now we have our second point. We can always then just take the 2 points here and we'll draw the line. When you're in Delta Math or DMAC or even taking the STAR test, all you have to do is just plot the points because the computer will just draw the line for you. So essentially, we are just looking for that line that goes through those 2 points. Okay, so we're going to move on to the second one here. The second one, we're not going to go as far as graphing everything. All we need to do is one, again, y equals mx plus b, first step. Identify the y-intercept of negative 2, which is at 0, negative 2. Our slope is 2, and anytime you have an integer for your slope, put it over 1. That way we see that the change in our y is adding 2, the change in our x is adding 1. We'll take 0, negative 2. We will add 1 to the x, add 2 to the y. 0 plus 1 is 1. Negative 2 plus 2 is 0. So our 2 points are going to be 0, negative 2, and 1, 0. These points are special because the first one we found was the y-intercept, which we always find those when we have slope-intercept form. The second one is our x-intercept, also called the 0 of your function. The y-intercept's other name is the initial value. Okay. All right. So second, or the third question here, we have y equals negative x minus 5. First step, b is equal to negative 5. Therefore, we have a point at 0, negative 5. Second, find the slope of negative 1. Negative 1 is an integer, so put it over 1. So our change in y is minus 1. Change in x is plus 1. Set our points. We will add 1 to x, subtract 1 from the y. So 0 plus 1 is 1. Negative 5 plus a negative 1 is negative 6. So we have the points 0, negative 5, 1, negative 6. Now, although we don't have the y-intercept on this one, or although we don't have the x-intercept, we could use the pattern that we see on this table, or on this graph, I mean, to figure out the next point. So we go backwards, and we would see that the x-intercept would be at negative 5, actually. I was off by 1. There we go. So here's your x-intercept. We still have the y-intercept. And then that is covering graphing for slope-intercept form. What if you have linear equations given standard form, which is ax plus by equals c? Well, your x-intercept is just c divided by a. Your y-intercept is c divided by b. And if we need to, we're going to get our slope of the opposite of a over b. So the rules of thumb goes this. If both intercepts are integers, then we're going to use the intercepts to graph the line. If one intercept is an integer, use the slope to find a second point, then use the intercept and the point to graph the line of the equation. So for this one here, we need to identify our ABCs. So A is always with X, B is always with Y, C stands alone. Our x-intercept is c divided by a. So we're going to go 6 divided by 2, which is 3. So this gives us a point of 3, 0. That's our x-intercept. The y-intercept is 6 divided by 3, which is 2, which gives us a point of 0, 2. Since both of my intercepts are integers, 3 and 2 are integers, then we can use them to graph. So we have 3, 0, and we have negative, or we have 2, 0, 2. Okay, looking at the points that I have placed on the graph, it shows that we have a negative slope. We could use the opposite of a. The opposite of a was negative 2. And then we put that over b. So the slope is negative 2 over 3. By using rise over run, we can confirm that. Down 2, right 3. That gives us our slope of negative 2 over 3. Okay. If I needed to, I could use the slope to figure out another point. So this would have been my change in y. This is my change in x. We would add 3 and subtract 2. 0 plus 3 is 3. 2 minus 2 is 0. Guess where that ended us back at? Our x-intercept. I could have gone from the x-intercept as well. Say add 3 minus 2. So this would have given us a point of 6, negative 2. And if I go on the graph, 6, negative 2, that actually shows that I could have ended up there as well. All right, that is the end of this tutorial. Thank you for watching.